Hello, everyone. Welcome to day two's training session of Republic Day Forensics 2023. The theme is already known to you. It's Glory of Global India. So today we are going to have a session on dramatic adaptation and SPAR. So starting with dramatic adaptation. So first I'm going to deal with what the format is and then how much time you have to speak. So you have to pay attention here and then ask me questions if you have any later after I explain this slide, okay? So dramatic adaptation is modified form of dramatic interpretation. You don't need to go into the details of what dramatic interpretation is because then you'll get confused. So what you need to know is what is the modified version by which we are actually going to use, that is dramatic adaptation. Now, it is obviously made up of two words, that is dramatic and adaptation. Now, the moment when something called as dramatic is there, that basically means you have to act like somebody. Now, who do you have to act like? There's going to be a profile or a character, personality, or a person from history right now. Basically, a person or like a personality slash character is going to be given to you, based on which you're supposed to like act like them. Now, act like them is not just based on how they look or how they speak, their accent, their body language, and so on and so forth, but it's also about how they think. So, and that's the most important thing. You have to think like them. You have to think as to what was their ideology, what was their personality like, and how exactly they used to approach things. So, for example, if it is Mahatma Gandhi, like we did last time, so we all are aware of that Mahatma Gandhi had these basic principles of non-violence, ahimsa, and so on and so forth, right? So these are the basic principles that you need to know about these personalities, and that is the dramatic part of it. Now, what is adaptation per se? You have to adapt to a situation. Now, what is the situation? The situation is essentially going to be given to you by us. So it can be any topic, any contemporary issue, anything which is situation arising right now. So it can be basically anything and everything. How would, let's say, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose would react to, let's say, corruption in India? So basically, any situation. So what is the situation? Corruption in India. And what is the thing that is being, the personality that is being given? Netaji, correct? So you are going to be given two things. One, the personality, and another, the topic. And you are supposed to merge both of them and think as to if they were present right now, or if they had to have an opinion on this particular thing, what would they think of and how would they approach it? All right. So I hope this much is clear. Do you have any doubt until here? Don't see the part where I'm going to talk about junior, like how much time do you have? Just tell me if you're like clear about the format per se, like the dramatic adaptation. Okay, it's clear. Cool. Now, okay, Mitra, do you have a doubt?
Yeah, ma'am. For dramatic adaptation, we will be giving roles like that or the perspective of point of view.
So we are going to give you these roles one day prior. So let's say when is the competition? 21st, right? So we are going to give you the roles on 20th. So let's say I'll tell Mitra is going to be this person, or let's say I'll say Adit is going to be this person. You all are going to be different persons. It's not going to repeat. So everybody is going to be assigned one personality based on which you're supposed to like act based on whatever topic is being given to you. All right?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, Alia.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, after we are done with our speech, then the judges will ask some questions about it.
No, they won't ask you any question. It's just your speech, your presentation. They won't ask any question.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Okay. Then moving forward, now how much are you supposed to speak for? So if you are from 3rd to 6th grade, you're supposed to speak for 3 minutes. So your like the timing is only for 3 minutes. You're supposed to only act or adapt. Dramatic adaptation, the entire presentation is going to be only for 3 minutes. All right. If you're in middle category, that is 7th to 9th grade, you're supposed to speak for 4 minutes. I hope that's clear. Now, if you're in senior category, that is 10th to 12th grade, you're supposed to speak for 5 minutes. All right. So junior 3 minutes, middle 4 minutes, and senior 5 minutes. Are there any doubts here?
Ma'am, the junior category is 3 to 6, isn't it 3 to 5?
No, it's 3 to 6. So there was a confusion earlier that whether it's 3 to 5th, but it's 3 to 6. And similar, like it's not 6 to 8, it's 6 to 9. Sorry, 7 to 9. I'm sorry.
Okay, ma'am.
So please pay attention right now. It's juniors 3 to 6, middle 7 to 9, and senior 10 to 12. Okay. Now
Okay,
moving
ma'am.
on to what are the, like, when exactly you would get everything. So if you are from junior category, that is if you are in 3rd to 6th standard, just know that you will be given both your topic and your personality one day prior. So you don't have to wait on the day of tournament to know the topic. So you have to prepare really well, you have to research, you have to properly have all the creative minds into your presentation, right? But if you are in middle category or senior category, I'm going to give you what exactly is going to happen. Cool. So if you are in the middle category, you're going to get the topic plus the personality is again going to be released one day prior. But if you're in senior category, you're going to have if you are in the senior category, you're going to have the personality released one day prior, and the topic is going to be given 3 hours prior to the date. Okay? Okay, Manasvi, go on.
So, ma'am, in the one day we are getting for the so, ma'am, the one day we are getting, if we are from the middle or the junior category, ma'am, we are able to research about it and ma'am identify what type of characteristic it is have
Yeah,
or the
correct.
the personality is
Yeah.
having.
Yes. But for if you're in senior category, you'll only get the time to research about the personality. However, the situation is going to be given 3 hours prior, which means you have only 3 hours to actually research about what exactly this person would have done, specifically with respect to that situation. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Afnan, could you mute? Okay. Now, I hope this part is clear. Adhika, do you have any question?
Yes, ma'am, I do have a question, and the question is this: that as you have told that we will get our personality, which we have to act like one day before. So, are we going to get our situation as well, or the personality only?
Yeah. So which category do you belong to?
Ma'am, junior.
Yes. So look at the slide. It says your personality plus the topic will be released one day prior. So it's going to be given to you one day prior.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
No problem. Anaga,
Ma'am, I have a question.
yeah.
Ma'am, my doubt is for the dramatic adaptation speech, will we have to dress up?
I think one of the ways to evaluate how it's going to be is obviously the way how you dress up, because obviously if you don't have access to actual clothes, you can use your own props creatively and the actual yeah, and then use it. Otherwise, otherwise you don't have to like actually go about it. But then yeah, it's always appreciated. There are always brownie points for
Excuse me, ma'am.
having.
A question.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, ma'am. I have to. I just am in a little bit confused that
Okay.
this is about the you are taking this session about the storytelling or the global India that topic.
Oh yeah, so we are going to make sure that the personality that is given to you is in line with the theme that is there. So the personality will be given in line to the theme itself, or the situation that is going to be given is going to be in line with the theme. So either of the two.
No, he has prepared one story. As Rinku ma'am told that for the story and also only one props he has to use for it. So is that or drama?
No,
This
a dramatic adaptation is not storytelling.
okay. This is
Yes,
of this debate competition, correct?
yes. So I'm guessing
I'm just
that
confused in these two
yeah,
things. I'm
yeah, yeah.
little bit confused in
Yeah,
these
so
two
I'm
things.
guessing that
So,
the interpretation of how the dramatic adaptation works is a little different. However,
yeah,
storytelling
yeah.
is different.
So
Yeah.
he is in junior because he is in class 5th. He is
Mhm.
in junior and he has to speak I think about 3 minutes, correct?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
the topics and all I'll get one day prior.
Yes.
Oh, and that we have to means I have to make him write or learn what he has
Yes.
to say about it.
Yes. Yes.
Correct. So any idea regarding that, which topic we will get or something like that?
Yes, so it's going to be only released one day prior. So you can always like research about the theme and something around the theme, something related to India in the global diaspora.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Question.
Yes.
When are you gonna tell us the
The situation, we are going to tell you the situation and personality one day before.
are you gonna tell us the topic?
Yeah, one day before. If you are in junior or senior, junior or middle category, then one day before. If you're in senior category, you will get the personality one day before. But
I'm
the
in junior.
yes, so you are going to get it one day before.
I have a question.
Yes.
On 21st, can we do we have to learn it or can we read it out?
So that's where this particular slide is going to be acting upon. So the way how you're going to be judged upon are several ways. One, your adaptability to the personality. So how well are you able to act to the personality, or how well are you understanding the issues from the lens of the personality? So adaptability, whether or not you're able to understand what the personality actually wanted. B, whether or not you understand from the perspective of that personality as to how they would have acted in that particular situation. C, enactment. How are you acting, like in terms of drama and like in terms of acting, how well are you like doing justice to the personality given to you? Fourth is creativity. So a large chunk of times you won't actually get exactly on by research that, okay, this is what they would have probably like thought about with respect to the situation. Then you would have to make deductions based on whatever they did like prior. So let's say what would be the understanding of a person who was a lawyer per se initially, but you don't essentially know what their opinion is on a particular act. So you have to think, okay, if he is a lawyer, he would have more understanding of law, rights, and all of that. So then you have to make reduction. So there's going to be creativity. Last is about using props, and this is where the way how you're dressed up, the way your surrounding is, your as in like equipment that you're probably using while speaking are going to be also seen. It's optional, but it's also going to be judged. So if you have it, well and good, you have brownie points. If you don't have it, you don't have to stress if you're doing other things properly. Last thing then is also about how, so whenever you're enacting something, you don't use paper, because if you're using paper, that means that you're not acting, you're reading. So if you are going to dramatically adapt to a particular thing, and because you are that personality and you still have to use paper, that basically means that you did not understand the personality, so you can't use paper. So it's basically advisable that you don't use paper. Don't try to, just try to buy hard. Okay, cool. Now I think this example we have used a couple of times. So for example, if the profile is Mahatma Gandhi, the topic is Ukraine and Russia war, the speakers are probably going to say what would be his approach towards, let's say, war, how would he want India to act in accordance with the same, and what could be the possible solution as Mahatma Gandhi, who could have done like or given based on his ideology or previous opinion on, let's say, war or violent activities. So these are the things that you can probably involve in your speech for 3, 4, or 5 minutes. All right, this is largely it for dramatic adaptation. Are there any questions on dramatic adaptation?
Could we please see that slide once again, the last slide that you had just shown?
The topic, the Mahatma Gandhi.
Yes. I'm going to send this PPT after the session. So if you want to like see any slide, you can always refer back to the PPT. Alia, did you have a doubt? I see your hand was. All right.
No, ma'am.
All right. So this is largely it for dramatic adaptation. So if you want to stay for longer and you want to actually know how SPAR works, then you can stay. Otherwise, you can leave the call. Shamila, yes.
Ma'am, is the Ukraine war just like an example of what topic it can be, or is it the main topic?
It's not a topic, it's just an example.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
So children for dramatic adaptation can leave.
Yes. Can I just like quickly take I think a quick picture of all of y'all? Can you keep your camera on? I just want to see you all. All right. So smile, everybody. Perfect. So if you are done with dramatic adaptation and you were participating in dramatic adaptation, you can leave. Now we're going to have a session on SPAR. But if you want to stay and you want to listen about SPAR, you can always stay. All right. So we are going to move forward to with SPAR and how SPAR actually is debated. Okay. Firstly, tell me what is the full form of SPAR. Does anyone know what is the full form of SPAR?
Spontaneous argumentation.
Very good. Yes. Afnan, can you please stop doing that? Okay, thank you. Okay. Please don't mess around with the screen, please. All right. So SPAR is spontaneous argumentation, and as the word actually suggests, it's going to be something which is all spontaneous, very impromptu, and where you don't have a lot of time to think. You have to just within fraction of minutes, you have to come up with debate arguments and reasonings and stuff like that. All right. So this is what SPAR essentially is. So what happens is it's a 1v1 debate where each pair is given 3 topics on the spot. So let's say what is going to happen is that you would know which side you're going to be in. Either you're pro or you're con. What does pro do? Pro opposes or supports the motion?
Supports.
Pro supports the motion. And what does con do?
Against the motion.
Yeah, so the con is against the motion. Right. So the moment when you know that you're pro or the moment when you know you're con, you're going to know whether you're supposed to support the motion or oppose the motion. Now you'll be given a set of 3 topics based on which, let's say I'm as a judge going to send these topics in the chat box. And then based on that, you're going to basically strike one topic as pro. So let's say Ved is pro and Anaga is con. And I'm going to send these message the motions in chat box. Rigved goes first and strikes one topic, and Anaga goes next and strikes another topic. The topic that is remaining right now is going to be debated on. All right. So what is the topic which is going to be debated is going to be the most favorite topic that is according to the debaters. Now, what is your time? And this is really important. Please take a note of it. So if you're junior and you're in 3rd to 6th grade, the time that is with you is basically 2 minutes of prep time, 2 minutes of constructive speech, 1 minute of crossfire, and 1 minute of reply speech. So 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1. Okay, 2 minutes of prep time, that's for both. Then 2 minutes of constructive speech. So as pro, you will get 2 minutes of constructive speech, and as con, you'll get 2 minutes of constructive speech again. Where afterwards, you'll get 1 minute of crossfire. I'm going to explain what you're supposed to do in each speech, so don't panic right now. After which you're going to have 1 minute reply speech. And I'm also going to tell you what happens in reply speech. Followed by you have for middle category, that is 7th to 9th grade, you'll have 2 minutes prep time. So prep time is 2 minutes for every category. The only difference that is there is with respect to crossfire. So for juniors, the crossfire is for 1 minute. For middle school, the crossfire is for 2 minutes. And for senior category, the crossfire is for 3 minutes. Okay. Are there any doubts with respect to the format? So first, you're given the topic, you strike the topic, followed by the judge starts the prep time for 2 minutes, followed by the pro goes and delivers their pro speech or the constructive speech, followed by con, who gives their constructive speech as con, followed by the crossfire, after which you have reply speech from pro and con, which is for 1 minute each. That is for every category. Yes, Raghav?
Ma'am, 2 things. Number 1, ma'am, is there something like I just joined? So is there something behind this slide, before the slide about SPAR?
Can anyone, whoever is doing this, please stop doing it? It's not even funny or it's
Ma'am,
not.
this is the first slide of SPAR then?
Yes, it is the first slide of SPAR.
This one. Secondly, ma'am, the pro and con will be decided prior when and how?
It's going to be given on the spot to you. So for example, if your let's say if your debate is at 10 o'clock, you'll be given whether you're pro or con 1 hour before, but it doesn't really make any sense whether or not you get it on the spot or 1 hour before, because you're not going to be given the topic anyways. So
Yeah.
all right,
Thank you.
moving on. Then how exactly does motion release and matchups actually work? So the matchups are going to be pre-released for both rounds and will be sent a day before. So we can essentially give you the draws a day before, and then after which you're going to have each room, where each room is going to have 10 debaters. All right, and then you're going to have all odd numbers debaters. Okay, so what essentially is going to happen is that each room is going to have 10 debaters. Now, obviously, if it is 10 debaters, it's because it has to be even number, because one person has to go against the other. Okay. Yeah, so sorry. Okay, so what you have essentially is that you're going to have each room having 10 debaters. Now, this cap can actually change based on the number of people who are there, but it has to be always even numbers. So what happens is all odd number debaters are going to go pro, and all even number debaters are going to go con. Each debater will get to debate pro and con. So for example, if Raghav is pro in first round, he is for sure going to be con in the next round. So you are going to be able to debate from both sides because there are 2 preliminary rounds. How would the motion release happen then? Adjudicators will be given the 5 sets of topics, which means you don't have to care about it because your judges would have to care about it. So each pair is going to have different sets of motions, which means that even if you're in the same room and you are essentially the 5th pair to debate, the motions are not going to repeat, right? So it's just that your numbers are later. However, the motions are still going to be different. Now, the first pair is obviously going to be debater 1 against debater 2, and their adjudicator then is going to release motion, and then pro is going to support the motion and con is going to oppose the motion. And I think I've already told you how this actually happens. Now, what is important here is that this is how the draws are probably going to look like. So draws are going to be released 1 day prior, and this is what it is going to look like. Afreen, Nitiksha, Sneha, Dan, Arman, Alex, basically this. It's just an example. Now, what did I tell you? That all odd numbers are going to go pro. So tell me who exactly is going to be pro in this list. Who wants to tell me?
1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9.
Correct. And who will be con?
2, 4, 6,
2, 4,
8. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Correct. Yes. And who would Afreen go against?
Nitiksha.
Yes, so it's just the first 1, 2 is a pair, 3, 4 is a pair, 5, 6 is a pair, 7, 8 is a pair, and 9, 10 is a pair. So Afreen would go against Nitiksha, Sneha would go against Dan, and Arman would go against Alex, and so on. Correct. So this is how the pairings are going to be looking like. So you would essentially know whether you're pro or con in this one itself. But the only difference is going to be that, like, let's say if you're in round 1, you're pro, in round 2, you're going to be con. All right. So if you're given odd number in round 1, in round 2, you'll get like even number.
By round 2, you mean the second day?
It is going to be like told to you whether it's going to be on the second day or like the same day.
Ma'am?
So yeah.
Ma'am, so I am getting a bit confused. Is the round 2 in the same match, or is it like with another person?
Other person.
In another match?
Another person.
Okay, ma'am. Sort it out.
Yes.
Excuse me, ma'am. Actually, I had a doubt.
Yeah.
Ma'am, is it like is it like a team event or something, or is it like one representation?
It's a 1v1. So Afreen is like independently debating, Nitiksha is independently debating. It's just that we're going against each other.
So, ma'am, it's like a 1v1 debate, and it's not a team event, right?
Yeah.
Ma'am, actually, I had one more question.
Hmm.
Ma'am, once the motion is assigned to the participants, ma'am, will they get a prior time to prep?
2 minutes. The moment, okay, let's just do this activity. Who wants to just volunteer right now? Who wants to volunteer? Okay, Mitra is volunteering. And then we have Raghav Mukija volunteer. Okay. Anika will volunteer in the next round.
Ma'am, I raised my hand because I have a class now.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
is it okay if I leave?
Yeah, sure.
Can you please send the recording in the group, ma'am?
Yeah, sure. It is getting sent.
Thank you.
Ma'am, can I choose somebody else, because I'm having a cough also.
Yeah, sure. Okay, whoever wants to go then. Sharmila is ready for being the person. Okay, Sharmila against Mitra.
I have like a doubt.
I cannot hear you. Your connection is a little unstable.
Like
No, I cannot hear you.
there are 10, there are 10 people in one debate.
Can you check your internet, Sharmila? By the time we'll finish this activity, okay? So the activity basically is, as I said, so that we would be able to appreciate what the format is. Who wants to participate then? Tell me who is the... Rigved, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am, I'm ready.
Okay, Mitra, you ready? So let's say Mitra is 1 and Rigved is 2. So Mitra is going to go pro and Rigved is going to go con. Okay. Now I'm going to give you, I'm the judge and I'm giving you this set. That is this set, which is on the screen. So the first motion is all families should have a pet. The second motion is dogs are better pets than cats, the way how we did it yesterday. And third is summer is better than winter. So Mitra, since you are pro, you get to strike one topic. Which is your least favorite topic? Can't hear you. Can't hear you still. Okay, which motion do you want to start? The first one. Okay. Now the remaining motions are dogs are better pets than cats and summer is better than winter. Rigved, which topic amongst these two? Which one do you want to strike?
Ma'am, I would like to go for summer is better than winter. This is my favorable topic.
Okay, so you're going to strike dogs are better pets than cats.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so just mention which topic you want to strike as opposed to which topic is your preferable, okay? Because the judges are going to get confused. So the topic that is remaining then is summer is better than winter. So understood, that's how it's going to be in your debate rooms as well. So they'll be like, okay, first speaker is Mitra, second speaker is Rigved. Can you all come to the, like, can you all turn on your cameras? This is your motion. And then the moment I've like got, like, I get to know that these are the topics, I'm going to start the prep time. 2 minutes prep time is going to be given to you, both of you. And then I'll be like, I invite Mitra to start her speech. And then she's going to give 2 minutes of constructive speech.
So I'll be starting the first speech.
Yes, you would be because you're pro.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Okay. After which Rigved is going to give his con speech, which is again for 2 minutes. After which you're going to have a crossfire. Now, what is a crossfire? Is basically a question round. So what happens is that Mitra is going to, since Mitra was pro, she's going to ask the first question to Rigved. Okay. Followed by Rigved answering the question that Mitra asked. After which Rigved again is going to ask a question. So it's basically a back and forth situation. I ask a question, you respond to that. You ask another question to me. I respond to that, and then I ask another question to you. All right?
Yeah, Spark. Take
Yes.
it.
The next then,
Ma'am, I couldn't hear you.
what part could you not hear?
The one that you spoke now.
Yes, that's like saying that. Can you all mute yourself if you're not speaking?
उसमें बीटेड के मार्क्स आ गए थे बीटेड के मार्क्स आ गए थे बीटेड के मार्क्स आ गए थे
Okay. So what we're going to, so it's the crossfire is essentially a back and forth procedure where the pro asks the first question, the con responds to that question, and then the con asks another question to pro, and then pro responds, followed by pro asking another question until the time limit is over. Okay. So it's a back and forth situation. I'm going to ask a question. You're going to respond to that. You're going to ask another question to me. I'm going to respond to that. Okay. This is what crossfire is. But what is the constructive speech essentially? Now, constructive speech is the one where you're actually going to take care of your prep time, because like your prep time is going to determine your constructive speech. That's when you're going to frame a speech. So motion motions are in SPAR are not, more often than not, simple and generic. So you don't essentially need research or Google material. And research or Google material is strictly prohibited. So if you are found like using statistics from Google, your marks are going to be tagged. So do not use Google whatsoever. And if you think that you're smart and you're not going to be caught, it's not true, because you are going to be caught whatsoever, because we generally, like, the judges are proficient enough to actually understand like whether or not you are using Google. So do not use Google, right? So the 2 minutes are then utilized for the purpose of structuring the arguments and fleshing out the reasoning. So how do you do it? So for example, in the motion, dogs are better pets than cats. How do you do it? So pro can argue 3 reasons why dogs are better pets than cats, right? So the first is dogs are loyal. Then whenever you make a statement, remember what I told you are supposed to like support it with reasons. And how do you support it with reason is essentially when you ask questions such as why, how. So if you think that a particular argument is to be made, and it is basically, oh, dogs are loyal, but how do you say so? Dogs are loyal because they stay with the owner, they obey with like the commands and stuff like that. So you can essentially reason it out by the way of reasonings and answering the question of why. The second argument again can be dogs keep you healthy, and how is that the case? So because you essentially have to like take them out on a walk and stuff like that, but that's not the case with the cats. Last again is like dogs provide emotional support. Why is the case? So because they always cheer you up, they're always like very clingy, and they're also like very playful, and therefore you have somebody who can always be around you and is very cheerful around you, and therefore you as a person would always feel better if you are with dogs per se, right? So you can essentially do this: identify why do you support the motion, and then identify why you say so what you're saying. So always ask questions like why and how in order to have a holistic case, right? So these are the 3 arguments, but why do I say so? So always try to start your like the speech of constructive speech. Start with by saying that, okay, I'm going to prove to you 3 things. First, that dogs are loyal. Second, dogs keep you healthy.
Yeah.
Third, dogs provide emotional support, right? Basically, you being able to provide first the structure of how your speech is going to be, followed by the actual speech where you're actually fleshing out and giving more less of analysis, more being comparative. So what would comparative look like here is that you telling that, look, dogs are loyal, but who are we comparing it to? We're comparing it to, let's say, obviously we're comparing it to cats, right? So then you are supposed to say that cats are not loyal because they can essentially run away whenever they want to because they're moody. So one day if you had like you do have a cat as your pet, the next day you probably don't have a pet at all, right? So this is what happens in the constructor speech. Now this crossfire and what happens in crossfire. Afnan, do you have a question?
How much time are we given for constructive speech?
2 minutes.
Ask. Okay. Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes.
So the odd ones, so in the draw, the odd ones are pros and the even ones are cons.
Yeah.
And then paired up like 1, 2 will go against each other, 2 and 4, 3 and 4 will go against each other.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Next is crossfire. Now, crossfire is to ask questions to the opponents based on their constructive speech. Now, based on whatever this process, oh, dogs are loyal, dogs keep you healthy, or dogs provide emotional support. Now, you can ask questions. So this question could look like, oh, dogs are loyal, but cats are loyal too. How can you say only dogs are loyal? Or you can say that if dogs keep you healthy, dogs also have a lot of allergy that they come with as well. So you can also say that, oh, dogs can probably give you a lot of allergy as well. Third thing then is like, oh, how can you say that they provide you emotional support? Considering a large chunk of times, people aren't necessarily free to actually take care of like an animal which demands emotional support and stuff like that. And therefore, you can ask questions on them. So you can obviously ask questions on what they are saying. You can ask questions, counter questions on them, but counter questions are like least important. What is important is you being able to respond to them. So ask questions in order to be able to prove that whatever they're saying does not matter, or whatever they're saying could be disproved. So be strategic, right? So you are going to be marked for the kinds of questions you're going to ask during your crossfire. So your strategy in responding and your wit during crossfire and how fast are you able to come up with responses. These are all the things which are going to be judged upon. Now, last is like how reply speeches actually work. So reply speeches are basically followed by crossfire. Now, a lot of times what can happen is that during crossfire, you weren't able to respond to some things which your opponents were asking about, right? That's when you can use reply speeches to respond to them on the question that they asked you in crossfire, and therefore you can actually redeem your points that you probably would have lost during crossfire. The second thing then is be comparative. So compare the benefits of your side as opposed to the benefits of opposition. So say that why essentially dogs are better pets as opposed to cats, and then compare the benefits. Let's say opposition said that cats are less maintenance or like not high maintenance per se, right? Then you can compare that even if dogs are high maintenance, the kind of like emotional support that they give you is like worth enough, and therefore them being high maintenance is okay. But also for that fact that there are different breeds of dogs which are not that high maintenance, and therefore you can probably get those like dogs regardless. The second thing then that you can do in reply speech is because obviously you have heard the opponent's speech, and therefore you can respond to them, and you can reply to them and like basically rebut them, and therefore you can in reply speech provide like analysis as to why whatever they're saying does not make any sense and also can be disproved. Third thing, then you can obviously, again, I think I've already told you, you can respond to the opponent's crossfire question, and you can always convince the judge as to why you win the debate. Like convince as to like why your side is better than opposition, and obviously you can do so that by pointing out the harms in opponents. You can also do like by pointing out the benefits and say why whatever opponents are saying can either be mitigated. But last but not the least, what you can do in your reply speech, because it's only 1 minute, so if you don't have a lot of content, what you can do is provide a short summary of your case if time permits, or just tell that, okay, this is what we provided to you, this is what opponents provided to you, our benefits are clearly better than them, and therefore we should win the debate. And that's largely it. If you guys have any questions, you can probably ask. Are there any questions on SPAR?
Mom, how much time is the rebuttal?
Rebuttal speech is 1 minute.
1 minute.
Yeah. Rigved, do you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I wanted to ask, are we going to have any activity related to SPAR right now?
No, not right now. Like, I think we already had like 2 activities, but if you want me to like specifically deal with like, let's say give you some like options, and then we like specifically, if you're confused about something, I can deal with that.
Ma'am, I was saying that we'll not have any activities right now, right?
No.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Is there any doubt? So you all are aware of that 2 minutes is clap time, 2 minutes constructive, 1 minute crossfire, and then 1 minute reply. So the things which are similar is that 2 minutes clap time for everyone, 2 minutes constructive speech for everyone, and then 1 minute reply speech for everyone. The only thing that is different is crossfire. Juniors 1 minute, middle class 2 minutes, and senior category 3 minutes. I hope like it's clear as to what you're supposed to do and how your SPAR sample is going to be given. The speech is clear, the crossfire is clear, and then also the reply is clear. So if you have any queries, you can always reach out to us via Instagram, email, or anything. Yeah, Raghav, go on.
Mom, I don't think we'll have any more trainings, right?
We have
When is
another
the one question?
Yes.
When is the debate?
The debate is on 21st and 22nd.
Okay. Ma'am, what are the timings for the debate?
So the timing is going to be released shortly. There's going to be a proper schedule that is going to be released.
Okay.
Mom, you were talking about the next class.
Yeah, so we do have next class tomorrow.
That?
Yes.
Like, get the topic 1 day before the debate.
Are you asking about SPAR or are you asking about dramatic adaptation?
Ma'am, both.
So SPAR, it's on the spot. That means so you only like you get the topic on the spot and you get 2 minutes of prep time. Dramatic adaptation, you get it 1 day before.
Ma'am, what about turncoat?
Turncoat will be told to you tomorrow. So tomorrow is the training for turncoat, and which other format is left?
APD.
Correct. So there's a proper orientation on APD and turncoat.
Ma'am, so on